See, I got that shared. Just see when we're going live. And we're all good. All right. So do you want to start talking about the dominators first or not? Like, I think we're like the industry as a whole is in agreement that it's basically like a Larson, Hamlin, maybe like a Penske race, but like I think Denny Hamlin and Truex is pretty much everybody's dominators, and I think we all agree on that. No,
I was going to say you said Larson at first. Did you mean Truex?
Larson, Hamlin, and Truex. Yeah.
So Larson's going to the back. Just broke.
Just broke. Well,
yep.
Oh yeah, for those that were here, I had to restart my computer, so I had to close everything down like 3 seconds before this live stream. So I hadn't seen that.
But even if he wasn't, I don't like Larson at this track. I don't think he has dominator potential. Definitely don't like him now. I think it's come down Truex. Yeah, Truex, Hamlin, Penske. Bell might get up there. And I think Harvick could possibly surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Harvick has a chance to really show up today. So for me, so I want your opinion on this because I tend to suck at Richmond. Is it wrong to play 4 guys start inside the top 10 today in a lineup?
Absolutely not. I don't think so.
Because that's where a lot of my projections are going, because I personally hate the 6K range, and I hate a lot of the drivers starting outside the top 16. Like 16th all the way to 31st for me is basically people not getting anywhere close to 5X other than Corey LaJoie and Ross Chastain. And so for me, this really seems like a type of race where you might want to take the 7K guys starting inside the top 12 as like your value range. Like I'm not really wanting to touch people like Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, Cole Custer, Suarez, even Stenhouse, Newman, Briscoe. Like I don't like those guys.
You don't like? Why don't you like Stenhouse?
I don't think Stenhouse is going to get up. Like I have him projected for 32 points. Like, do I see him passing more than 7 guys? I don't really. Like, I'll probably say a lot of my projections because I really don't like a lot of them today. So, like, for me, I have LaJoie at 5.2x. I got Stenhouse at 4.7 at 32 points. I'm giving Cole Custer 33. Giving Bubba Wallace 31. Like, I got all these guys projected to do similar today in terms of like either like 32, 33 at max or 27, 28, and 27 is like their floor. And so personally, I haven't really gotten to any of these guys here. That's why I was asking, what do you think about starting so many guys up front? Because that's where a lot of my lineups ended up going.
Yeah. I'm going to sell you on Stenhouse real quick.
Okay. Sell me.
So short flat tracks this year, 12th, 17th, 15th. Just a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
You're good.
14th, 23rd, or no, 17th, 18th, 15th, 16th, 13th in the last 5 Richmond races. Also, the last 5 Richmond races, he gets fastest laps at this track, and I don't know why, but he's had 18 or more in 4 or 5 of the last 6 races here.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, like Stenhouse is an automatic, I think.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the same stuff you're looking at. Like in his last 4 races here, DFS wise, has been the 16th highest, 9th, 10th, and 20th highest driver. I'm giving him 15th today. Like I didn't give him any fast laps. 6.5, 7 place differential points is the most I can do. So you gotta, because I look at that. Like I'm giving him. Go ahead.
Sorry, are you going LaJoie in a punt with your build like that?
No, LaJoie's the cheapest. LaJoie, let me look at this. I'm bringing it up on my phone because since everything crashed, I'll probably end up bringing it up on the screen. But like LaJoie seems like the only guy there who's worth going to because he easily hits value. Sure, 29 points isn't the prettiest, but if he gets me that, why am I paying up for Bubba Wallace? Why am I paying up for Chase Briscoe when it really gets down to it? Why am I going to overpay for those guys when I could just play LaJoy and get plays that I think are better? Like, I love Chastain tonight. Are you on that as well?
Yeah, I like Chastain. I think DiBenedetto, obviously DiBenedetto is a great play up in but 8,100. But so you're going LaJoy instead of Stenhouse, Jones, Wallace, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm going combined. I'm hitting them both.
Okay, so Jones is the only guy in that range that I like. Like, if we're talking about, like, this value range, it's LaJoy and Jones. I just happen to not get to Jones. Chastain's a higher price, so I wouldn't throw him in this conversation. But I just don't see, like, Newman as well. Like, Newman could fuck me again because he did way good. He did better last weekend, and I said he wouldn't do well. I'm saying the same thing here. Like, I don't see much from him. I'm giving him 26 points today. I don't see much from Newman. And so it just wound up going to LaJoy. So,
I think your kind of lineup build works if there's 3 dominators.
Mhm.
Typically, there's only 2 dominators at Richmond, though.
So so I like Harvick a lot today because I'm really impressed by his run at New Hampshire. Now, obviously, New Hampshire is a bit of a handicapped race because we lost the 2 fastest cars, the people who would have got the most fastest laps. Like, Kyle Busch would have got the fast laps in that race, and Trix would have as well if he didn't have as much damage as he did. But even with how well Harvick ran at New Hampshire, like, I like Harvick here, and I think Harvick can stay inside the top 6 all day, and I think he's going to leech some of those fast laps away, especially if we're on board that it's Hamlin and Truex leading. I didn't like any other place that I could go. Like, I'm building, a Truex and Hamlin line, but I just happen to like Harvick here. I actually like Harvick more than Brad Keselowski. I like him more than Ryan Blaney. I like him more than Christopher Bell, more than Alex Bowman, more than Chase Elliott, more than Byron, more than Kyle Busch, and so that's kind of how I've ended up on Harvick as well.
See, I'm viewing Harvick more as a pivot off of Kez. I wrote up Kez as a cash play this week. I'm gonna have a ton of Keselowski.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just kind of looking at. So I'm assuming you're pretty high on Almirola then. That's what you're talking. Yeah,
I can see the
well. Yeah. I can see the line that you're going towards.
Because I don't like. I'm not really excited about this race at all. I don't know. I hate Richmond with a fucking passion. But when I broke it down and looked at, like, the projections that I have, like, I wanted to like Chase Elliott earlier in the week, and then I started projecting him, even giving him some fast laps, and I was like, okay, well, Elliott can't get there unless he just kills the race. It's hard for me to imagine that. Same thing with Kyle Busch. And then I started going through people, and if it really is a Hamlin Truex type of line, like, I don't think there's as many ways to go. Now, it's different if a lot of the 6K work, like if Stenhouse kills, even if Ryan Newman kills, then you can maybe see an Elliott get in there on his place differential alone, or Byron, maybe even Kyle Busch if he can get some fast laps as well. But man, if it goes green like most Richmond races do, I don't see a lot of avenues to really go today.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What do you think about Logano? Because I think something tells me that Truex is going to lead early, and Hamlin's going to just kind of, I don't know. I just don't have a great feeling about Hamlin. I think he's going to be top 3, but I don't know if he's the dominator. Obviously,
Yeah. So that's the conversation that I need to have from you, because for whatever reason at Richmond, I just whiff on the dominator. Like, I can never pick who leads. And so this is why I'm like, okay, everybody's saying Hamlin and Truex. I've been wrong like the last 3 years. So help me get off of Hamlin, because he's the guy I want to get off of. I don't see Hamlin doing much in this personally, but the data is there to support it. Everybody supports it. So help me with Hamlin. How does Hamlin fail here? Like,
speeding penalty.
So it's mainly self-inflicted, right? Like there's not a lot of data supporting that he's not going to do well here, at least
Right.
this year. Yeah.
I'm looking at it as if you want to get off of Hamlin, it's just gonna. I think the three main dominators, the three most likely dominators tonight are Hamlin, Truex, Logano, maybe Keselowski. So to me, I'm building. You can build all three Hamlin, Logano, Truex in a line. You can definitely fit Kez in there. Like I said, I'm going to be very heavy on Kez. So I guess if everybody in the industry is talking up Hamlin and Truex, and Hamlin and Truex are the two with the two guys that dominated here last time, that tells me that they're gonna you can get some leverage there by just decreasing your exposure on Hamlin and Truex just a little bit and being heavier on Logano, heavier on Keselowski, and still have very similar upside because both Logano and Keselowski get fastest laps at this track type. They can both win this race. They can both lead this race. They both lead pretty regularly at short flat tracks. So even Keselowski, puts up 20 plus fastest laps pretty much every single time we're at a short flat track. So it's very hard for me to convince you not to go Hamlin because yes, everything says him and Truex are going to be the plays tonight. Where I'm coming from is strategy wise, just differentiating yourself a little bit. There's a lot of people that don't like Keselowski tonight, man.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'm not one of the. If anything, I like Keselowski over Logano more. Yeah, I mean, Keselowski showed what he could finally do at New Hampshire. Like personally, I'm leaning a lot off of New Hampshire. I know it's not the exact same type of track, but I'm not looking at Phoenix earlier this year. It's been too long for that. Not looking at Nashville, nothing to gain from there. So I'm using New Hampshire as a baseline because last year, entering the playoffs, New Hampshire, the final New Hampshire race was the one that showed who was going to do well in the playoffs at the short tracks, and so that's why I'm using New Hampshire to show who should do well in this race.
Yeah, like you said though, like, are you just using this year's race?
Yeah.
See, you kind of have to adjust it in a way just because of how Truex and Kyle Busch wrecked. Hamlin had issues.
Well,
so how much of the dominator points got shuffled to other drivers that wouldn't have got them otherwise, Yeah.
Well, that's what I said, because I think Kyle Busch would have won that race, had the most dominator points. I think Truex would have been second, probably Hamlin third. So that's how I assume those guys would fall into that. If anything, I'd like that they weren't in that race so we can actually see who was fast outside of the guys who normally don't have a chance to get those fast laps. And so anyway, that's actually why I'm looking at New Hampshire more, because the guys who should have got them weren't even in contention to get them. And so we were able to see more of the field at New Hampshire.
I gotcha. That makes sense. But as far as tonight's race, stuff doesn't happen at Richmond. So I think that devalues the alt plays a little bit, in a way. But yeah, unfortunately it's just like last time at Richmond, the build is looking us right in the face and saying this is it, and I think we're trying to overthink it. And my what I've preached all week has been, don't overthink this. It's Hamlin, Truex. Even though they're starting second and third, they're not start. Truex is now starting first technically because he's going to move up with Larson's issue. So that makes me like Truex even more. So there's your argument. If you want to get off of Hamlin, Truex is going to be starting up front if he gets the lead, because there's no control car now. So Truex has the inside line going into turn one. You have to like Truex even more now. And I'm just landing so much on a Truex, Hamlin, Kez build that if I go down in flames with it, that's fine. But
so so Hamlin and Truex, or Truex and Keselowski is where I've been going back and forth on. That's about where we're at. Like, and it's all like, yet again, it kind of goes back to even last week at Darlington, where some guys could just not show up with the correct setup and then just be dead right off the bat. So that's always a possibility this year. But
I think it's a less of a possibility at a playoff race, though. Like there's 5% chance that Joey Logano doesn't have a top 5 car tonight. Same with Truex, same with Hamlin, Keselowski, same thing. These tracks are so predictable. These short flat tracks are so predictable that there is a significant edge that these guys have on everybody else. So I just don't. Not overthinking it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow myself to overthink this.
Yeah, I'm playing pretty light today, just because I like I said, I didn't like this, and man, like the avenues are so small. Like if it goes the way that everybody thinks, it's going to split, regardless of what value ends up working. I agree with you that I think I like Truex the most. It's a coin flip with me between Hamlin and Keselowski. Do you want to go back to like talking about the 6K range at all, or like who do you like from that? Because I'm on LaJoy and like nobody else. So are there other places that you feel like you're going to more than the field, or other places?
I'm so heavy on Stenhouse, like that. I truly believe in that pick. Warming up more to Chastain in that range. You said it's a little bit higher. I know a lot of people on Eric Jones, and I think he can finish top 20. But if he's going to be that high owned, I'm seeing way too many people talk about him. And with him starting 31st, I'd rather be on Stenhouse, and I'd rather be on Bubba than Jones. I'd rather have that, because it's still Eric Jones. But he has finished top 20 in all 3 races on this track type this year. But you kind of have to adjust for, again, the playoff race. And not that it takes him, back in 25th, but I still think Stenhouse is great in that. I think Bubba is improving at this track and has as much upside, if not more, than Eric Jones. Another reason, Bubba Wallace consistently gets like 5 fastest laps a race. So it's those little things when they have similar finishing upside, similar place differential, and Bubba comes at a bit of a discount. The guy that I'm like not sure about is Chase Briscoe, because he's sucked at this track type this year, but Stuart Haas is obviously very good at the short flats. And even Cole Custer has been, going back to last year, has been about a 15th place car on this track type. But Briscoe just can't seem to. I don't know if something happened in the the first Richmond race or the Loudon race or the Phoenix race. I don't remember, but he's just been absolute garbage. He was running better at Phoenix. Now that I'm looking a little bit further into it, average running position in 19th, 23rd at Richmond, 23rd at Loudon. Does he have the upside though? Because he finished 22nd, 27th. But yeah, I'm with you on LaJoy. I'm kind of scared how many people are going to be hitting LaJoy this week, but he's always my favorite, guy in that range, and he's running so well right now that obviously one of these weeks it's going to be the time to get off LaJoy. But the way that builds are going this week, like you're not going to hit Alfredo. If I was going to pivot to anyone off of LaJoy, I'm going to hit Yaley just because he overperforms in his equipment and he's starting dead last.
Yeah,
like he can easily finish top 30 tonight. So if LaJoy hits the wall, has a tire go down, and you're on Yaley instead, I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either. I want to go back to talk about Eric Jones really quick because we kind of mentioned him. And I think the reason people talk about him is because we both agree that he's a top 20 driver probably tonight. And when you start, you're like, okay, wow, he's going to gain, 11 positions or whatever. And then you actually project him for like 19th, 18th, 20th around there. And you start seeing Jones at like 33, 34, 35 points. And when you actually look at the points, like if you project him, it's like, wow, that isn't like the stellar play that we all thought he was. Even if he gains, 10 positions, he's like not really there. Yeah, Cole Custer and Briscoe scare me. Custer's been off pace. I know he finished decent last weekend, but I've been watching Custer for about the last 4 weeks, like under green flag speed in the race, and they're off pace. Like they're racing around like 23rd, 24th. I mean, for crying out loud, LaJoy was passing these guys last weekend, and I'm not overreacting to LaJoy and how he performed last weekend, but like we do need to take note of that. Like the equipment LaJoy is bringing right now is like legit like an 18th place car if everything could go right for LaJoy. And you might want to say the same thing for Custer or the same thing for Briscoe, but I'll take the discount. I'll take the hit. I'll even eat the ownership on LaJoy if it's going to be high this weekend. I haven't really listened to much, but I'll just eat the chalk on LaJoy if it's there. I probably won't go to Yaley just because I don't see Yaley finishing any higher than like 28th max, and I still think LaJoy can outscore him.
Yeah, LaJoy. I mean, LaJoy has legitimate top 20 potential. I'm just
You're just
looking.
You're just saying.
I'm kind of looking around. Yeah, I'm just saying. If you don't want to be 100% LaJoy, which I'm fully, on board with, I do it often where I go 100% on someone. I think you can differentiate with Yaley, and it also saves you. It gives you a little bit more flexibility in those builds that you're right at the cap, and you maybe can't get, exactly the guy you want to fit in. Then that gives you a little bit more room. But yeah,
that's Stenhouse, man.
I'm looking around, man. I'm telling you, if I'm wrong on Stenhouse, you can roast me all you want.
I don't care about the roast. Like for me, like if I wasn't going, or if I needed two guys in that range, Stenhouse would be the guy. I'm just, man,
You're not there.
I'm just not there today. Like it's so, and I'm giving like I even wrote about this in my little PDF thing that I have on Patreon. Like when I projected everybody to do the way I thought they would do, all these plays look absolute dog shit. Like there's a chance that only one or two of these guys in the 6K range hit 5X. Like I got a lot of guys for 4.7s, 4.8s. And whoever hits value there, like whoever hits 5X value in the 6K range will most likely be optimal. I have no clue who it's going to be, because it's probably going to be by like 2 points in comparison to like the other 6K guys. Like 2 positions on track will be optimal from one of these guys today.
So I'm just kind of looking around projected ownerships because I want to see like what other people are thinking with LaJoy. And I'm really not seeing him that high, which I like,
Mm-hmm.
And I think Eric Jones is going to be a lot higher than I thought he was, but Stenhouse is better than an 18th place car. Like, let's
see what.
Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give him 17th right now.
Like I said, if I'm wrong, come here and roast me next week. But I'm looking forward to my Ricky Stenhouse Jr. victory lap next week when he's in the optimal tonight, because that's how much I believe it. Like,
so do you think it's Stenhouse and LaJoy in the optimal then? Because that's what my optimizer is telling me. Based on my projections, it has Stenhouse and LaJoy together.
So does mine.
Yeah, fuck. That sucks. I don't want to hear that.
Just a second. Where is this at? Yeah, my optimal actually doesn't, like, Stenhouse is my 4th highest driver price wise. Well, it's publicly posted, so I'll just say it. It's Logano, Hamlin, Truex, Stenhouse, Bubba, LaJoy. And then the one of the other top ones with Yaley in it would be Hamlin, Truex, Kez, DiBenedetto, Stenhouse, Yaley. By the way, like that's one guy. I think that's going to come down to a lot of lineups is DiBenedetto. whether he can actually perform like he always does on this track type or not. And I don't know if people are like scared of him a little bit because he's starting so far back or because of his price, but like he has legitimate, top 12 finishing upside at this track type and should be probably higher owned than he's going to end up.
Yeah, let me see. Do I have the we didn't have practice last year either. I forgot about that. The Benedetto would be interesting to look at. I might do this after the show because I'm not on De Benedetto. I think he gets stuck running around 16th, 15th, maybe 14th today. And I'd like to go back and look at his practice sessions and see in previous years how close his practice times were to his actual running position. Because
he's so his worst finish on this track types over the last 2 years is 17th. That was here at Richmond last year.
Yeah. Because, 11th at New Hampshire this year, 12th at Martinsville, even 14th at Phoenix earlier in the year, if you want to look at that. I didn't end up getting to Benedetto, but I think him and Jones, Matt DeBetto and Eric Jones are probably going to be the highest owned drivers, probably from 18th on back.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, that makes me like Stenhouse even more because if like I'm not putting my eggs in the Jones basket this week.
I can't do it either.
At least a lot.
Wallace is the other guy I want to talk about here because Wallace keeps wanting to pop up. And it's between Stenhouse, Wallace, LaJoy, and probably Jones in the 6K range. I think two of those guys are optimal. So if you don't want to play Stenhouse, I guess you could go Wallace. But I think these are the four guys that you want to focus on here. Like I could be wrong and Suarez just shows up or Briscoe shows up. But man, I hate this range so much. Like I think all these plays are horrible. Like it's hard for me to find anything I like about any of them. But you have to go here.
I was gonna say you have to, and they're all so close. It's kind of you're picking. Bubba's interesting because I don't have notes from the earlier races. Like what happened to him in the first Richmond race, or what happened to him at Loudon? Why did he finish 26th? Because he's a better flat track racer than that. But he hasn't been great here at Richmond by any means.
Let me look. Let's see.
Or did he just suck?
I might have something. Let me go ahead and look. Let's see if we got any notes here. Notes 21. What am I looking at? New Hampshire?
Yeah.
And what other race?
The first Richmond race.
Richmond. Okay. Let's see. That's trucks.
He finished about 4 to 3 spots worse than his running position both times.
Okay, I don't have anything for Richmond. Let me see. Let's see. In stage 1, Bubba just says he's terrible here. You can find all this stuff at racefortheprize.com because anyone, you or anyone, that's why I like Pierce's stuff because he saves me a ton of time. So Bubba Wallace cut a tire and he pits with pit road closed in stage 1.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened? In stage 2, Busher and Bubba got into each other. Bubba got loose and hit Busher. He brought out a yellow. Looks like he got trapped a lap down in stage 3. Sounds like he just had a bad race. between getting involved with Busher and cutting a tire down.
Yeah. That was the first Richmond race or the Loudon race?
That was New Hampshire.
Okay.
Let's see. What does Racing Reference have real quick? Because I mean, I agree with you. Like, I want to say Bubba's a good driver, but just looking at the stuff this year, it's hard to find support on that.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, he's been garbage here at Richmond for a while. He had one good race.
It wasn't, or it was. Yeah, Bubba got in the caution, or he got wrecked on lap 33 early in the race, and probably just got trapped a lap down with damage.
Okay.
So
he had damage in both.
Yeah, that's what happened. He got involved in wrecks. That's what I'm seeing. Oh, and he went to the rear at Loudon. So he had to drive through the field. He got damage. Let's see what happened at Richmond for Bubba. He just got stuck. He just kept going laps down under green. He didn't have the pace. Finished 3 laps down. Which is, yeah. I mean, these are the 2 races why I'm like it's hard for me to project Bubba to do anything more than like 19th today.
I'll agree with that. I think that's a good race for him. The only thing he has is how good Gibbs is here.
So we say that, but he hasn't been able to replicate it at all this year, really. Like,
I mean, he's. I'm looking. Yeah, I know.
like,
he did good at Pocono. They're good at Pocono, and he finished 14th and 5th.
So Pocono's an anomaly. That's strange. And the only thing
Daniel Hamrick is a shitbag. 0 wins in 200 NASCAR starts. He doesn't deserve a ride anywhere.
Let's see. What am I missing here? Where's this at? In the chat. I gotta find this.
Bubba's been in Cup for. Was he in Cup before Gregson even was in Xfinity?
Yeah, he entered Cup in 2019, I think. 2019 or 2018 when he loses his ride. I know you laughed at me last week for saying Bubba's gonna get fired. Week later, man, Bubba doesn't ever win. Let me see. Where did Bubba start? But yeah, that's 6K range. I hate all these drivers, and somebody's gonna be out from here. I don't know who it's gonna be. So you either go on the side of maybe projecting who can do better. So it would probably lean Stenhouse, LaJoy, maybe even Briscoe in that, or you just go to whoever's the lowest owned in the 6K range, because if they're all going to suck, might as well take the guy who's least owned, and that might be, God, even Suarez is ugly. Maybe Newman. I guess Newman. But
go pull up that comment from Nolan. I mean, are you just talking about Larson? Like, did anybody else fail inspection that I missed?
I haven't seen anything, but I didn't see the Larson news, so I'm sure I would have seen it at some point. I didn't see it now. Just Custer going to the rear.
Custer, yeah. I mean, Larson and Hendrick aren't dominant here at Richmond, so even if he wasn't going to the back, I don't see the upside for him. And now it's just like a full fade for me when it comes to Larson, especially where they priced him.
Yeah.
Like, Larson, yes, he's been very good this year, but one, he just needs to survive this race, and then he can go and try to win Bristol because that's his better chance.
Mhm.
So he either lucks into a win here tonight with 10 laps led like Bowman did earlier this year, or he skates around, he finishes 8th, he's locked into round 2, and he can go all out and not have to worry about anything at Bristol.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't see any reason to play Larson. I think he's going to be higher owned than he should be. Maybe a little bit less now with the news, but I think he's going to be higher owned than he should be. I'd probably give him like a 5 to 7% chance to make it into the optimal, and he's probably going to be like 15% owned. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. What do you think of? Go ahead.
I was gonna say this would be a race where I would fade the guy going to the rear, because people ask when should you and when should you not. Typically, you fade him when it's a track that's hard to pass on. When there's other guys who should easily be able to maintain the lead outside of him, when he wasn't even the favorite to begin with to get all the laps led. So yeah, like this is a place where I'm just fading Larson now. I don't see it working.
Yeah, and I mean, were you even thinking about Larson to begin with?
I was. I gave Larson. I gave him 39 laps led, 22 fast laps.
How many laps led?
39.
Yeah, that's about where I had him as well.
Yeah, so I basically gave him up to the, I mean, basically, leaving the field on this initial restart and losing it to Hamlin and Truex in the long run or on pit road.
One guy I want to talk about because it comes up a lot at this track type is Ryan Blaney. Because everything, like, he's so good everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And he just sucks at Richmond. And there's eventually going to be a race where Ryan Blaney performs. Do you see any upside with Blaney tonight?
I have him finishing 5th with no fast laps, no laps led, and that's barely 42 points. Yeah, like that. I think that's a ceiling. Like I don't see Blaney doing much, and so I mean that's what I gave him to at least get him into the optimizer or get him to try and get in there. But if you're asking me, I think he runs probably around 9th or 10th, maybe even 11th today. I think he performs better than he has been here at Richmond because Penske is so strong. Like they have to be giving him, like Penske's been great on the flat tracks even last year. Blaney couldn't get there. They're great on the flat tracks this year. Like they have to be helping or doing different setups on Blaney. Like I think he does better this race than he has in his past, but I don't see him really killing this race at all.
Yeah, and I know like that's the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I've seen people talking about him because yes, he was very good at Loudon. He was very good at Phoenix. He was very good at Phoenix last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I wanted to get your take on it, whether you saw the upside that other people are. But yeah, I mean, I'll always be on the anti-Blaney train until he proves it to me.
That's
at
funny,
this track.
You're
and then like, I know. And then like Alex Bowman's fucking dead to me after last week. I went so heavy on him. Oh, that was the most heartbreak. Like I'm like usually, Alex Bowman waits till the end of the race to break my heart. Fucking lap 10. I'm like, really, the first guy. And then, the whole race went to shit.
Okay, so
everybody having issues.
I had Byron, I had Blaney, and I had Kyle.
Oh boy.
And so as soon as Bowman and Byron get into it, my attention for the race, like instantly, like I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm gonna go make a pizza. I'll come back and watch. I come back, turn the TV back on, McDowell's spinning. I was like, okay, well, that's weird, man. We're having more wrecks than usual. I go fuck off. I come back. I literally turn the TV back on. Kyle Busch is wrecking. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to watch the end of this because every time I turn on, somebody's wrecking. Like, what is going on in this race? I saw you tweeting about debris on the track. Didn't watch the race, so I don't know. I watched Darlington when we're going to an intermediate track. I watched it over, but I haven't had time to watch it. So what happened there? What were you
with the debris?
Yeah.
So a debris caution came out, and it saved Christopher Bell because he was on an alt strategy pit-wise. He was leading at the time. There's this huge piece of metal sitting right in the middle of the track, start finish, and they're showing him, and he just nails it, just drills it. And I'm just like, how does this happen? Because I had plenty of Bell last week as well, and then he ended up having his issue and finishing 20th, and like he had a good enough car to win. But yeah, that was just funny. The best part of the race last week from a broadcast perspective was how awful of a race Rick Allen had. Like when McDowell wrecked and just completely totaled his car, and he's like, "You think he can get back out there?"
Yes, yeah, I did listen. I did hear that. Junior, you think he's gonna get back out there?
I will pay a good amount of money, NBC, to give me cameras on Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. and Steve Letarte the whole race. So when Rick Allen says something stupid, I can see what their face looks like, because I guarantee they have some good ones. Gosh. Speaking of Christopher Bell, that's a definite, I think, play tonight. You agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Bell's in there, and him and Keselowski really intrigue me tonight.
Wes, go click my article for DraftKings and read my write-up about Keselowski, and that'll sell you on it. And if not, then I got nothing for you.
You can go to his website. It's right in the description. It should be the second link. Or it's the first link, actually. So Bell, who do you like more, Bell or Keselowski? Gun to your head.
Keselowski.
It is.
I see the upside with Bell. I think Keselowski is actually the safer play. I wrote up Kes as a cash play tonight.
I like Bell too. So like my secondary lap leaders, my list was Larson, Harvick, Keselowski, and Bell. That's what I had. What do I have Bell for? I got Bell getting some laps, let him fast laps today. I got him finishing inside the top 5, so 5th. I like him. I like him and Eric Almirola a lot. I know they're not in the same price range, but I like Eric Almirola a lot today.
Yeah, you have to like Almirola. I think Bell comes in at like 15% ownership, which I like. Almirola, I think, is going to get a little bit higher just because of the win. People are finally catching on that he's really good at this track type. So that kind of worries me, but I don't mind pivoting to Chastain either. But is Chastain going to get the bump because he starts 17th and how well he's been running lately?
I don't think. Go ahead. Sorry, I have it on the screen, so I can't see when you talk.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a scenario, like the most likely scenario that Almirola outscores Chastain. Because I see the top 5 upside with Almirola, but it's nowhere near a guarantee to me. I think he's going to be about a 9th to 8th place car tonight. I don't think he's going to get dominator points, whereas Chastain, I think, can move up top 10 and get the place differential points.
I don't think it's necessarily a discussion between how different they score. I think the discussion should be how big is the gap between either or both of them together. The difference between them and the 6K range, because if Chastain outscores Almirola by say 3 points, but they're both scoring in the 40s today or high 30s. Whereas same thing going back to, and this is kind of why I'm scared about Stenhouse and these guys. Like if Eric Almirola and Chastain finish with points in the 40s, and then say Stenhouse finishes with like 32, 33, 34, I think that gap is almost worth putting either one of Eric Almirola or Chastain or both of them in a lineup and kind of avoiding the 6K range. I think that's the real question versus asking between Eric Almirola and Chastain, because I think going to them has higher upside than the 6K range, like 1-to-1 comparisons to the 6K drivers. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense there.
Yeah, I'm trying to do a build with. You'd have to go both of them, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you're at. We're back to where you were before, right?
Yeah. it all circles back, man.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. Yeah. If I liked Harvick more, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But if I could fit Keselowski into that,
yeah,
it makes sense.
You know how you do that? You should take Hamlin out. Then you can really play the guys that you want. Because
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're looking, like, I haven't finalized the build, but you're seeing the build that I want to go with tonight. Like, that's where I'm at versus fucking with the 6K guys.
I like where your mind's at there, actually. I can't say that I've landed on that too often. I also haven't made any lineups. I've just fucked around so far. Like I said, I've been hungover all day on the couch. Yeah. Till 4 p.m. I've been on the damn couch. God, this is what 30 is, or 31, however old I am.
Dang, I'm a baby compared to you. I didn't know you were that old.
Yeah, I'm 31.
I didn't know that.
I've been doing this fantasy stuff for 10 years already.
Yeah, but then you say that, and I'm here. I've been doing like 4.5, 5 now, so that doesn't impress me as much as the year, the age difference.
So you're hitting. You wouldn't mind. I'm trying to see where your head's out here now. Chastain, Almirola, and you're not going Hamlin?
Yeah. What if you do that? Because
I think.
Let me bring this up so I can look at it with you.
Yeah, so you could go, if you go Logano, then that leaves you enough to get Bowman or Blaney. Or you can end up with like a Bell.
And this is assuming you're using LaJoy,
right,
with those guys as well. Because if you want to go Stenhouse with those 4, I don't hate that either. That's actually not a killer line. That's not a bad line. Because if you go Stenhouse, you can see. Yeah.
Ooh.
I just saw that. So going back, Pierce and I were talking one day on stream. This is for the Atlanta race at the Cup Series, and we were having a discussion very similar to this, looking in a different way, and we built the line that we used on stream, kind of like how we just did here. We never got there with the optimizer. We kind of messed around, hand built. I know you're looking at the same thing I am, because I just put that together and I'm like, I don't hate that. My only, because you like Stenhouse, oh man, I don't want to say this line. If you've been listening, you kind of know where we're at. If not, well, you can listen back. You got time. But that Stenhouse worries me so much there, dude.
Don't let it.
I'm gonna build. I was gonna do 2 lineups, but I might just do 2.
I like that a lot.
That's a nice.
I like that a lot.
That's a fucking nice line, dude.
That's for sure going in the couple contests.
It has to. All right, let's look at questions, because I'm done. I don't need to do anything else.
The best part of that is it also gets you off a lot of the chalk.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Maybe I just write that line and just screw it. And
I need to write that down.
Yeah. I love it. See, this is why I love talking about this stuff, because when you run into like eureka moments like that, it's just now watch
Do
these
you want
guys will wreck.
you want to hear a weird story?
Go ahead, shoot.
So you talk about eureka moments like that.
Mhm.
There have been not every single one of, but a lot of my really big nights in DFS where I've won like 8,000 plus. I've had that moment where I've made a lineup and something just clicks and you have that eureka moment and I'm just like, that's the lineup. And I end up like, I rarely put the same lineup in. Like I differentiate even across high dollar, but when I have those moments, I slot it in. And almost every single time I've had that moment in my head, it's absolutely crushed. It's weird. Now, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But I really like that line, especially if you're trying to get different.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like optimizer aren't going to put here. It's not necessarily hand building; it's more so going in a direction than messing around with what you could do there. Yeah, I like that a lot. As I was saying, going back to I have to make two because I hate Stenhouse so much, dude. I hate him so much today. Let's see what else are people talking about.
I can't wait till he drills the wall on lap one. Like,
right.
It's gonna. I can already tell the DM I'm gonna get from you. I'm just gonna be like, fuck off.
No, I don't do that because I mean I say things like that all the time that end up breaking. I don't do that. Other people will. You don't have to get it from me.
Right.
But let's see. Somebody was asking about the Chastain Pit Crew earlier. I do want to bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to affect anything because Stenhouse gets all his positions on restarts lately anyway. Here it is.
You mean Chastain?
Or yeah, Chastain. But it's a bit of a concern. Maybe he doesn't gain as many. Maybe he doesn't have as many. He doesn't have a net gain that he normally has on pit road, but I don't see it being major because there's going to be so many people trapped a lap down in this race by like lap 140. Even if he has a bad pit road, he'll still be starting like 18th. That's another thing. And that's why I was building the way I was there. Like when you look back at the Richmond races and you see the amount of people trapped a lap down, like if I could just get somebody who doesn't get trapped a lap down or like 2 laps down, if they're trapped 2 laps down, they're not gaining any positions in this race. If you go 3, you're screwed. So I either want guys who at the very fringe of 1 lap down or on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean that lends towards your mindset of picking the guys starting up front because this is a 3/4 of a mile track. They're going to start lapping cars quick, and as green as this race goes, we're not going to see many people get lucky dogs. When I first saw that news about Chastain's pit crew, I was a little worried that he's getting the fucking Quinn Half, but yeah, they're all. There's no huge difference between these pit guys. They're all trained the same. It's not like you're getting, fourth string NFL player. And then Penske made a switch too with pit crew.
Oh yeah, I saw that the
front tire changer.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just the left one. They got the same right one.
Which, man, if they think that's gonna be much of an impact, I guess. But what's going on in the Xfinity Series race? Why am I winning money now? What's going on? I thought this lineup was dead. Doesn't matter. They got 8 laps left. They'll probably still wreck.
Gibbs dive bombed Hemrick on that restart. I don't even have it on.
I've had it on the background, but I haven't been looking at all. At least John Hunter's doing well. That makes me look good. I think we've covered about everything for the Cup Series. So since you landed on kind of what I'm on, like, are you building many more lineups other than that, or are you just kind of sticking in that range now?
I'm probably going to go. Right now, I plan on having about 20 lines. I'll do 20 in that $24.20 max. But as far as like high dollar, I'll stick with 5 probably. That's my plan now. We'll see how it goes. I always depends what contests they add closer to lock. If I like them and I like the payout structure, then I always get a little more frisky. But
Yeah.
I'm so confident in not only that one, but also the other lines I've been building that it's just very hard for me to get too crazy and change it. Seeing how quick, these contests are going to fill very easily tonight. Can they stop destroying these contests? Like the $88 one, they completely killed it.
Yeah,
this week.
dude, it was cut. It was even the 44. Like, let me see if that's still up because I'm in that one today. That's already filled up. But like the 88 was terrible. Like, what was it, like 50 people or something?
93 with a 3 max. Like,
yeah, the 44 was only 500 people today.
I do like that they added the 180 and stopped doing the $400 contests and stuff like that. Plus, it has the 180 has a pretty good payout structure comparative to what they're used to.
It's still 23% paid out, but 71 out of 308 ain't too bad.
I just like last week the $500 one. It was 50 grand to first, and then like it went down to like 1,000 by fifth, and I was like, yeah, it's great if you take it down, but
I don't even know how you get your money back. Like if you throw 2 lineups in there and you don't have one that finishes in the top 10, like you're already in the hole. Like, you know, like that's like too much risk. I do like that 180 contest. Probably won't get into it today, but that's probably the best one they've had today. Although top 10 getting 60% of the pool or the prize pool is I don't like that.
What? That's only 20%.
No, that's for first because top 10 is 60.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you said first. That's my bad.
Yeah, I mean, I may have, you know me, I misspeak a ton. I don't know why. It's horrible in live shows, but I mean, the only thing is I don't feel like I have to get as different in, like, say, the 15 because there's not as many lineups. Normally, I feel like if it's 27,000 people, I feel like I have to find a pivot here and there. Like I can kind of feel like I can run a cash lineup in these smaller GPPs of like 15,000, which my cash lineups still have like a pivot here and there. Like I said, I don't hate these smaller contests. I just wish the payouts were more respectable to the field.
Are you playing any FanDuel today?
No.
Man, I can't get excited when their $100 contests are 5 people.
Yeah, like, dude, if you're like, normally I play the 7 or this, but like the 7 pays out like dog shit today, and then as you said, the bigger contests have nobody in them.
Right. And I tweeted it out, and someone's like, "Well, it's NFL season," and I'm like, "Then it's still gonna fill 5 hours before lock because they're still not big enough." Like, even DraftKings, you know, I know that they have to adjust for NFL, but at the same time, the demand is always there with NASCAR over these last couple of years. So I think DraftKings did pretty good this week, offering, except for the 88. Like, killing that just pissed me off. That was one of my favorite contests. But other than that, I'm all right with it.
Well, even the like they killed the Rainbow Warrior a few months ago because it got too small. The 23 max got too small, and even like DraftKings is the better site, but like even when you look at FanDuel's contest for the NFL, like you got a 100K to first. That's pretty shitty. You got 1550 to first. That's pretty shitty. I don't know. Like I don't like a lot of the contests on FanDuel for the NFL either. Like,
did you play FanDuel's contest Thursday night for football?
Yeah, I won. I did really well. Oh, we're already on this topic. So FanDuel, I had where we at? had Prescott as the MVP, Brady, Brown, Lamb, and Gallup on FanDuel. Cashed on that, and then nearly took down tournaments on DraftKings.
Nice.
Because I've been killing it on fucking NFL Showdown. I killed the preseason first game, another preseason game, and then this one I had Lamb, Captain, Bernard, Brady, Brown, Cooper, Prescott. If I would have swapped Lamb for Brown, I probably would have won more, but I didn't want the ownership that Brown had in the captain. But I had a great Showdown. Speaking of that, I'm probably playing more Showdown tomorrow than the big slate.
For football?
Yeah.
I'm a Vikings fan, and they play in Cincinnati, which is like a 2-hour drive for me. And I'm still debating whether I want to go or not. It works perfectly, but my Jordan Jinx also transfers over to NFL. Mm-hmm. So I've been to like 20-something Vikings games, and I've seen him win 3 times. So part of me is just like, just watch it at home, enjoy the day, don't have to worry about NASCAR. But
that's funny. I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan, and so I've seen them win twice and then get killed twice. But I've already seen the perfect game. Like, I'll never see a better game than the Christmas Day game 2 or 3 years ago when we played the Giants when Eli was still their starter. It was, I think it ended up being a 28-0 blowout with 2 defensive touchdowns and a Larry Fitzgerald touchdown. God. Like, I'll never see a better game as a home fan at Arizona than us just murdering the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. And then I don't do CS:GO shows because nobody's gonna watch those. And I want a CS:GO showdown this week as well. So it's been a really good week for me. I don't do that. I don't do NFL. It's too saturated, and I would hang myself if I had to cover NFL again because I would hate my life. That's a lot of work, man.
Covering NFL. I couldn't even imagine. Yeah.
I mean, I did it like in this form for a while, but like the people who do it for a living have to looking over every game, every snap. Like that would be horrible.
Oh, you'd have to really like it, and
yeah,
it's enough for 37 NASCAR
right.
drivers to follow that. I couldn't imagine. And then I used to work with a guy that his fantasy football league, they drafted every single position. So even defense. And I was like,
oh, dude.
No, I'll do anything other than that.
I can't even tell you all the starters on the Cardinals. Across every position. Like, there's no fucking way I would enjoy doing that.
Not to mention, I feel like that type of fantasy isn't covered very well. So, you don't even have anything to go check,
Yeah. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I don't want to keep you any longer than we have to. We're about 2.5 hours too long, so you guys got plenty of time to mess with lineups and everything. And thank you guys for joining. Probably around the same time. Well, I don't even know if it's a noon race next weekend. I have to check it out.
Saturday night next week, Bristol, King of Speedway.
Yes. Okay. So we'll probably do the same time, probably 4 Eastern again. Usually works. Let me look. At least it should. Of course, I searched NASCAR Bristol and it brings up the dirt race. Doesn't help me out at all. Yeah, 7:30 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. That's when the race should be. So, yeah, probably 4 Eastern next weekend. If anything changes, I'll let you know, Jordan, and I'll tweet it out or say it in the video. But yeah, thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. Good luck today.
Yep, good luck.